Wednesday. They're starting a new unit in our health class called The Facts of Life, and apparently it covers all the stuff they've been dancing around for the past couple of months. They sent permission slips home, and if you don't get yours signed, you're not allowed to even be in the classroom for the rest of the semester. I really don't like this permission slip thing. Mom only lets me watch G-rated movies, so I know there's no way she'll let me be in the class. To get around that problem, I typed up a fake note and taped it on top of the actual permission slip. Luckily, Mom didn't look at the paper too closely, and I got the signature I needed. I'm actually glad they're doing this Facts of Life unit because I have a lot of questions about this stuff, and I don't have a reliable way of getting answers. Just about everything I know in this department comes from Albert Sandy, and I'm starting to wonder if he's been feeding me bad information. Like last week, he told everyone at the lunch table that it's medically impossible for a girl to fart. Well, I know that's not true because of the time Mom hugged Aunt Dorothy on Christmas Eve. Anyway, today was the first day of the Facts of Life unit, and sure enough, Nurse Powell sent the kids whose parents wouldn't sign their permission slips down to the library to be special helpers for the day. The rest of us were pretty excited because we couldn't wait to hear all the juicy stuff Nurse Powell was about to tell us. But it didn't go the way I expected at all. Nurse Powell put some charts up on the easel and started talking about zygotes and chromosomes and a whole bunch of other scientific nonsense. I kept waiting for her to tell us this was all a big joke and then get to the good stuff, but it never happened. So I'm guessing the school is just trying to confuse us to make us lose interest. Anyway, if the school is trying to confuse us, they're doing a pretty good job. At lunch, we tried to explain what we learned in the Facts of Life unit to the kids who didn't get their permission slips signed, and we couldn't agree on a single thing. Saturday. Another thing Dad's in charge of now that Mom's back in school is taking us kids to our dentist appointments. Most kids don't like going to the dentist, but I actually look forward to it. I've been going to the same dentist since I was 2 years old, and they are totally my type of operation. But the main reason I like going to the dentist is because I am totally in love with the hygienist who works there, Rachel. Rachel always lectures me about brushing and flossing and all that, but she's so cute that it's hard to take her seriously. Mom's always getting after me about flossing, too. She says that if I don't take better care of my teeth, I'm going to end up with dentures before I go to college. I've been thinking about that, and maybe false teeth wouldn't be such a bad thing. If I had dentures, I could have someone else take care of my teeth, and I could spend the extra time doing something I actually enjoy. The only problem with being in love with your hygienist is that you only get to see her every 6 months when you get your teeth cleaned, so I have to make the most of every visit. The last time I had an appointment, I looked Rachel in the eye the whole time she cleaned my teeth, so she could see I was definitely interested. This morning, I actually went out and bought some cologne to make an extra good impression on her, so when Dad told me to get in the car, I was ready. But Dad drove right past my dentist's office and got on the highway. I told him he had missed the turn and that Tender Hugs Dental Care was back the other way. But Dad said I'm too old to keep going to a kid's dentist, so starting today, he was switching me over to his dentist, Dr. Kagan. I got a chill up my spine when he said that name. I've seen Dr. Kagan's billboards on the highway, and I get the impression he has a totally different approach than Tender Hugs. I tried to get Dad to change his mind, but he said he already did the paperwork to switch me over, and there was no turning back. I thought about making a run for it, but Dad must have known what I was thinking, because he locked the car doors. Dr. Kagan's office was even scarier than I pictured. He didn't have any coloring books or toys or the kinds of things they have in the Tender Hugs waiting room. Dr. Kagan was waiting for me in his office, and all his sharp metal instruments and drills were right out in the open for me to see when I walked in. So I could tell this guy wasn't fooling around. After I sat down in the chair, Dr. Kagan started grilling me about my eating and drinking habits. He actually got mad when I told him I drink soda, and he went in the side room and brought out a jar filled with brown liquid that had a rotten tooth in it. He told me this is what happened to a real tooth when it was left in a jar of soda for 24 hours. I told Dr. Kagan I would make sure I never left my teeth in a jar of soda overnight. I'm pretty sure he thought I was being sarcastic, but I was just trying to show him I was paying attention. Then he cleaned my teeth. I started to panic because if there's one person you don't want to be mad at, it's the guy who's got metal tools poking around in your mouth. At one point, Dr. Kagan started doing x-rays. He put a piece of plastic between my teeth and told me to bite down. Then he took an x-ray and got the next piece of plastic ready. After 2 or 3 x-rays, I started to get the hang of it, so when Dr. Kagan did my molars, I bit down on the plastic before he even told me to. At least, I thought it was the plastic. It turns out it was actually Dr. Kagan's finger. Well, if he was mad before, it was nothing compared to this. Dr. Kagan told me to go out to the waiting room while he worked on my diagnosis. I was pretty sure he was going to come back and tell Dad I needed to get a root canal or something so he could get even with me. But Dr. Kagan actually did something even worse. He told Dad I needed major corrective measures for my overbite, and he gave Dad this pamphlet. Dr. Kagan said I would need to wear my headgear at all times, especially during the day when I'm at school, so obviously he's trying to ruin my social life.